everybody, welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to make some holiday butter cookies. This is actually my mom's butter cookie recipe, and it's a Mrs. Love's holiday butter cookies. So we have 1 pound of butter, 10 ounces of sugar, 4 egg yolks, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 23 ounces of all-purpose flour, and a half teaspoon of table salt. So you need a digital scale to measure this, and I'm sorry I don't have the measurement in cups, as this is one of my recipes from a professional kitchen. All of those recipes are in weight. That is the most accurate way of doing it. So please invest in a digital scale. This one was $9 from Amazon, and it's worth its weight in gold because that way you can always make sure your recipes are accurate and consistent. I have our mise en place ready, so we have our 10 ounces of sugar, our all-purpose flour, our yolks, vanilla and salt, and our softened butter is already in the stand mixer and it's been paddling, so we can add in our sugar next. Now we're making these for the holidays, so I already have some royal icing ready to go. I have white and red, and we can pick out any sort of cookie cutter shape, but maybe we'll make some Christmas trees. That's for my gingerbread. But in case we want to do butter cookie gingerbread, we can do that. We can do circles. You can do any number of shapes. I'm looking for my Christmas bell or my stocking for the red or Santa. And cut out those shapes, and then we can decorate with the royal icing. But first, let's get our cookie dough made. So our butter was soft, and I put it into the mixer with the paddle attachment, and I'm just scraping down the sides. And first I'm gonna add in our sugar and let this mix together until it's light and fluffy. So make sure you get all of your sugar in. And I always do everything on a slow speed. I don't want it to spill or make a mess. And I prefer it to mix in slowly. I've scraped down the bowl and the paddle, and I'm gonna let this go back in. Our butter is light and fluffy, and now I'm gonna add 2 yolks. I'm gonna do 2 yolks at a time. Put them in and mix it until that's completely combined. All right, so you see it's all mixed in. We're gonna add the next 2 yolks and mix that as well until it's completely combined. All of the vanilla is going in after you mixed in the last of the eggs. You're gonna do 2 teaspoons. All right, the vanilla is in. Now this vanilla is imitation. Unfortunately, vanilla is very expensive right now, real vanilla, but this is actually not too bad. This is pretty good, and it certainly suffices for our butter cookies. If you're making something like vanilla ice cream, vanilla creme brulee, then you want to spend the extra money and get really good vanilla. But for this, it's perfectly fine to use the imitation vanilla. Save some money. Everything's mixed in, it's light and fluffy, and now I'm just gonna take our salt, add it to our flour, stir that together, and then we're gonna add all the flour at once into our mixer, and again, turn it on low. So we're gonna let that mix until it just comes combined. You don't wanna overmix it. So when the dough starts to look like this, you know you're gonna get ready to turn it off. You want it to come together. We don't want to overmix it. So once it starts getting together like this and the machine's having difficulty and it's pulling away from the sides, we know it's done and we want to stop. If you keep mixing it at this point, you're going to develop the gluten. Gluten is a protein in the flour, and the gluten strands become tough, and they are like little rubber bands, and that's why you need bread dough. You need it. That's to develop the gluten, but this is a cookie dough, and we do not want to make it tough like cardboard, so do not overmix it. Okay, please stop mixing at this point, and then we're gonna take it out, put it on some saran wrap, and make little discs, and then let it chill. Okay, so I have the dough, and I put it on our saran wrap. That's the shape I want, and I'm gonna make 4 of those packets, and that's a good size for us to roll out with rolling pin. And I'm gonna let this sit in the refrigerator, actually overnight, but which is best. But if you don't have, then at least a minimum of 2 hours. butter cookie dough. We're gonna now start rolling it out. So I have a nice big piece of parchment paper, and I'm just putting a light dusting of flour on it. And we don't want to use a lot of flour in our butter cookie dough because then it'll make it tough. The extra flour is going to develop the gluten in it, and we really don't want that. We want a nice, tender, flaky butter cookie. So I've got my rolling pin, and this has been sitting out so that the dough is soft, and we'll be able to roll it easily. So I roll it maybe 2 or 3 times in one direction, turn it around, roll it again 2 or 3 times in the other direction, and keep doing this. And I alternate and flip it between pieces of parchment paper and keep peeling it off. So that way I don't have to use a lot of flour. So that way we're not adding extra flour to this recipe, and it really does make a difference. So I'm gonna keep rolling this out until I get it about 1/4 inch thick, and then we'll cut it with our cookie cutter. So I've rolled out our cookie dough. You can see the thickness, about 1/4 inch thick. That's a good thickness for this cookie. And then we've got our holiday cookie cutters. So we're gonna do a bunch of different ones. We'll do a snowman, candy cane, Christmas tree, and we can decorate it with royal icing, or we can spread it with some sanding sugar and bake them. But I want to show you, once you cut it, use an offset spatula to release it off of the parchment paper, pick it up, and then lay it down on the cookie tray. So here we have a tray of our cookies, and I'm going to show you can decorate them in different ways. This is with green sanding sugar. This is with nonpareils. We're going to put them on, and I've got some red sanding sugar. And I can put that on for our... Here they are out of the oven. Look how cute these are. Here's our red one, tree, and then the ones with the nonpareils. And all right, so I pipe that and plop it into our crushed candy canes. And voila. All right, so there's any number of ways you can decorate the cookies. Here are our finished butter cookies, and I've decorated them with nonpareils, sanding sugar, and this one is royal icing with crushed candy canes. And this is our recipe to go over again. 1 pound of butter, 10 ounces of sugar, 4 egg yolks, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 23 ounces of all-purpose flour, and a ½ teaspoon of table salt. So I hope you enjoy the demonstration, and we'll make this at home. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye. For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel, and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.